Now I'm out at a Polo RV in Campbellfield in Victoria. They've offered to loan me this Winnebago Byron C-Class motorhome. It's based on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. It's a new rig. The biggest challenge that we're gonna have is this weather. Look, the skies could open up at any minute. So look, we'll see how we go, but I do wanna show you this van. I reckon this is a good unit. There's a lot of equipment on board, and let's face it, that Mercedes-Benz Sprinter is a dream to drive. So let's jump aboard. We'll take it down to a little location I know, and I'll give you the grand tour. Let's go. Now, of all the potential motorhome-based vehicles, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter is probably my favourite. I've got a bit of experience driving around various motorhomes that are based on this vehicle. It's got a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine that can do up to 400 newton meters of torque, as well as 125 kilowatts of power. On the flats, it's quite good actually. It has no problem keeping up with the traffic or, taking off at the traffic lights. When you're going up reasonably steep gradients, you do need to put a little bit of extra acceleration into it. But again, it's nothing, disconcerting, nothing unusual. And look, you can probably hear there are some squeaks and rattles coming from back there. But in my experience, that's just par for the course. It's to be expected when you're choosing the motorhome lifestyle. But with this Winnebago Byron, it's certainly not the worst that I've experienced. And when you've got some tunes going, some conversation going with your partner, you sort of tune it out really. And I've just gone round a roundabout, and it just really illustrates just how easy and comfortable this vehicle is to drive. The power steering's great, you can basically turn it just using your finger. When I compare that to the experience of towing a caravan and having to, make some tight turns or go around roundabouts or whatever, you've got to be, quite mindful of what's happening on the back of the four-wheel drive. It's a completely different experience driving a motorhome. Now, speaking of the size of the vehicle, this one's got a tare weight of about 3,582 kilos, and it can be loaded up to 4,490 kilos. So again, if you're thinking about getting into the motorhome lifestyle, but you're not quite sure, just go hire one. You can drive it on your standard car license with a GVM up to 4.5 tonne. One of the things about motorhomes that I really like is the fact that when you pull up to your destination, you don't even need to step outside of the vehicle if you don't want to. I can literally just turn the engine off, handbrakes on, it's in park. We can just step right through to the living quarters. Well, what a lovely motorhome. I mean, I'm certainly comfortable. As I said, this is called the Winnebago Byron. Now, if you go to an RV show, you will see plenty of these C-Class cab chassis style motorhomes. It's a reasonably competitive space, I reckon, but a lot of it, I think, comes down to the way you like to travel. What are your layout preferences? In this case, we have this rear club lounge. Now, I haven't fully explored yet, but my bet is that this converts to an additional bed. We do have another double bed in the Luton peak above the driver's cab. If it was my motorhome, I'd probably want to sleep up there, to be honest. We've got a ladder that leads up to the Luton peak that's rated to 100 kilos. A lot of storage options too. I mean, look above me, we've got a number of overhead lockers. We've got some storage in the kitchen. We've also got a secondary dinette, I guess we could call it, towards the front of the motorhome. Now, this is an important point. A motorhome can only carry the amount of people for which we have seat belts. Now, in this case, we can carry 6 people aboard the Winnebago Byron. We have the driver and passenger seat in the driver's cab, and then we have that other dinette area, and that's got 4 seat belts. So up to 6 people. Now, looking around, it looks quite good. The joinery looks good. I'm not seeing any unsightly gaps or unfinished edges. The cabinetry to me almost makes me think of a caravan, which I actually intend as a compliment. I quite like the fit out actually. Now, to state the obvious, this is not, a hardcore off-road going motorhome. This is much more of a touring rig. I see it as the perfect vehicle for going from one caravan park to another, maybe, a sedate little bit of free camping over here and then stay at another caravan park over there. And I think that's sort of reflected in the fresh water storage and the grey water storage as well. So for both, we get 90 litres. I think this point is also reflected in the 12-volt system too. We've got a 135 amp hour deep cycle battery, as well as a single 200-watt solar panel on the roof. We can obviously charge the house battery off mains, but all that said, we're not missing out on any crucial features. We've got a 2.4 kilowatt roof-mounted air conditioner. We've got the full bathroom, and that's not a combo unit as such. There's a separate toilet and vanity, and then you got a separate shower as well. And at the end of the day, these are limited spaces, so you've got to make the best use of space as you can, and they've done a pretty good job here with the size of that bathroom. And then moving over to the kitchen, we've got a gas cooktop and oven combo. We've got a sink with hot and cold running water, little bit of bench space. We've got a TV, some fusion speakers, a few little 12-volt outlets here and there. So overall, I think most people would be pretty comfortable inside the Winnebago Byron. But again, a lot of it depends on your style of travel. Do you want to climb up into a Luton Peak bed, every night, or would you prefer to have an island bed somewhere? But of course, Winnebago has those options as well. The exterior has been fully gel coated. The roof is a one-piece structural composite panel, and it all comes together quite well. I mean, there's no unsightly ripples in the finish. Sometimes if you look down the side of it, you can see a little bit of waviness. Not seeing that necessarily with this vehicle, so pretty happy there. There's an external shower. There's some, a good amount of external storage space as well, particularly under the dinette, which you can access on either side. There's a couple of other lockers, as well as two 4.5 kilo gas cylinders. Now, it's actually blowing a gale outside, and I did want to open up the awning for you, but honestly, in this wind, I'm a little bit skeptical about doing that. I don't know if you've ever seen these awnings, the way the wind can catch them, forget about it. But it is a 4-meter wind-out awning. What else can I say about the Winnebago Byron? Look, you've got a 25-litre microwave, and as for the hot water system, it's actually the 14-litre Truma unit. It's been on the market for a long time. It's a tried and tested product. A small point for the mums and dads out there with a newborn baby, this van comes with an anchor point for a baby capsule. There was a time in my life when I would have been thrilled to see that there, but my kids are all grown up now. Nonetheless, a handy thing to have. Now, sadly, I do need to return this Winnebago Byron back to Apollo RV. But if you like this content and you want to see more of it in your feed, make sure you like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Just in the nick of time too, because it's starting to rain. Typical Melbourne.